Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. This evening around 8:45, Mercury is going to go into opposition with Jupiter. And Mercury is stationing to go direct, so this might last us a few days, actually. Mercury in opposition to Jupiter at this time, like Jupiter is helping us work on that sort of inner expansion, making room in our hearts and our minds and our psyches for the bigger, better things that we desire for ourselves in our lives. And Mercury being in opposition there is going to tend to make us a little bit distracted because we're being asked to focus on that growth as a person. And, Mercury is going to be looking around saying, maybe I just want to make a new friend instead, or maybe I want to get engaged in this romantic endeavor, or maybe I'm going to find something fun or pretty to spend my money on. Okay. So just be aware of those tendencies to sort of be looking around for distractions, and hopefully be mindful of it as an opportunity to pay attention to what it is you're trying to make room for in your heart, right? And another good thing would be perhaps to check where Jupiter is in your own chart, so you have some idea where it is you're trying to gain that growth. Okay, let's get into these aspects. Today is Friday, September 2, 2022. We begin the second 10 days of the sun's transit in the land of Virgo. The waxing crescent moon is in Scorpio most of today, making ingress to Sagittarius late this afternoon. We apply ourselves diligently to efforts that will result in increased security and a well-supplied autumn and winter for us. And we dig deep into our personal wisdom while setting goals for the coming weeks and months. Mutable earth and fixed water. Be aware, friends, of a desire to spend money for emotional satisfaction. That feeling of reward is fleeting. On the moon side of the page today at 7:52 in the morning, Central Standard Time, friends, moon goes trine to Neptune, Cancer, and Pisces. Those are your vibes. We may be feeling inspired to create something beautiful, and the trine vibration here says that we are blessed in the effort. So go ahead and get into that creative zone today if you get a chance to do so. The moon also goes sextile to Pluto today. That's at 11:22 this morning. Cancer and Scorpio vibes. We'd like to make a connection at this time with another person or a book or some work of art. What we don't want is for that connection to feel superficial. And then at 12:22 this afternoon, the void of course moon goes square to Venus, Taurus, Cancer, and Libra. We can be acting a little selfish, and we desire perhaps more than someone else is willing to give us. This is another one of those opportunities to give to yourself what you would usually give to another. And then we have a nice 5 hours void of course period. Void of course is a time between when the moon makes its last aspect in the sign of Scorpio in this case, and when it actually enters Sagittarius 5 hours later in this case. So at that time, the moon is said to be coming to us relatively unfiltered, not really influenced by either of those signs. And so it's a good time to sort of connect heart to heart with ourselves and with spirit without this extra influence of a sign being involved. Journaling, meditation, reflection, creative practices, intuitive practices, those are all recommended at this time so that we can have those important conversations with ourselves and with spirit about how we're doing right now and how we seek to be going forward. And then at 5:39 this evening, moon makes ingress to Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius has an adventurous and philosophical vibe to it. We wonder as we wander in search of universally applicable truths and one-of-a-kind experiences. This is a 2.5 days transit. On the sun side of the page today at 8:49 in the evening, Mercury goes opposite to Jupiter. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. We may lack mental discipline at this time and be somewhat easily distracted. Mercury is stationing to go retrograde soon, so we may struggle with this goldfish mentality for a little while. Hopefully we can find a balance, perhaps by making a collaboration, because in the ongoing column today, Mars is still sextile to Jupiter, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Pisces. In this aspect, our sense of initiative and drive gets together with the growth and expansion vibes of Jupiter. We are very cooperative at this time and capable of making big strides when we work together. And we have a couple of special shapes on the page today that I want to talk to you about. We have this ongoing issue with a yod, which is also called a finger of God, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, and Pisces. Venus here is quincunx to two planets, Neptune and Pluto, and those two planets here are sextile to one another. The cooperative vibe between our deep inner knowing and our capacity to dream indicates the personal expansion of our inner selves to include the bigger things that we desire for ourselves. But what is hidden even inside my own heart may not always be readily apparent to me. Venus is the focal point here, aligned with this inward growth in a way that makes us feel a little bit uncertain. What do we really want? The subconscious isn't telling at this time, and it will take some patience on our part to allow that information to rise to the surface. Also, Sun is quincunx to Jupiter, which I did not write down here, so I'll just put it right up here. Quincunx to Jupiter, which is in reverse. So Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, those are your vibes. More uncertainty at this time, right here. Sun's quincunx to Jupiter. More uncertainty at this time as we struggle against the limitations of the commitments we've made. The desire for there to be more than obligation and authority in our lives can make us a little grumpy. And so more patience will be required as well. We don't know where all this expansive growth energy is taking us, but we can be assured that struggling against those we are responsible to is not going to help our cause, okay? And then we have this T-square that we've been talking about, Venus in opposition to Saturn, while Uranus is squaring them both. But today there's a special thing happening also where the moon is in opposition to Uranus and square to both Venus and Saturn. So this sort of cross in a box shape can be treated like a scope for narrowing in on a target. Venus and the moon both, in their way, represent the search for security in our personal emotional lives. And Venus rules Taurus, where Uranus has currently been making waves in our sense of material security, all the while Saturn calls on us to attend our social and civic commitments. Now is not a time for running experiments on our personal or cultural lives. Do what is tried and true. Show up in the places where you know you can contribute. Let people know you can be counted on, okay? And the sense of security we seek in the personal life will follow on that. And we currently have 6 retrograde planets. Mercury is now stationing to go retrograde for the 3rd time this year. Notice that the regular flow of planets within the wheel is to move counterclockwise. And notice that most of these planets now are moving in the opposite directions, symbolically causing ripples and interruptions in the regular course of things. Put simply, we are going through some changes. We are being given cause to reassess the way we handle surprises, the aftermath of our healing, our own inner expansion and creativity, our commitment to community, and even the transformations we are now personally undergoing. With reassessment often comes new approaches, and I view these as the gifts of retrograde action. Growth and change, these are the constants. Better to work within the flow than to exhaust ourselves in resistance. Coming up tomorrow, the first quarter moon in Sagittarius will grace us with an opportunity to pause as we shift gears from planning to taking action. Then on Sunday, Venus makes ingress to Virgo, and the way we demonstrate our desire becomes less about showing off and more about being helpful in practical ways. And then on Wednesday, Sun goes quincunx to Chiron, and this may cause us to hesitate when we're called upon to express ourselves. And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. For a longer, less formal version of this reading that includes further insight from tarot, please check out my other channel, Astrology Today and Tarot with Mel Rose. The link is in the description. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. My love and gratitude go out to each and every one of you. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.